Hello. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about metals and non-metals today. Sorry, my little volume thing has popped up here and I can't get rid of it, so we're just going to leave it there. But metals and non-metals, to be a metal or not to be a metal, that is the question. Okay, so we all know about the periodic table of elements. Periodic table of elements has all the elements that we know of on it, about 118 so far. Remember, an element is made out of only one type of atom. All the elements, again, that we know of are found on the periodic table, and they can't be broken down chemically any farther than they already are. You will note that most of the periodic table consists of metals. In fact, if you look at the periodic table, the entire left side of it consists of metals. And in fact, over 2/3 of the periodic table is actually made out of metals or has metals on it. And again, it's the left side of the table. So the far left side has the most reactive metals. The middle has, less reactive metals, and then the right-hand side has the non-metals. Again, 2/3 of the periodic table is made up of metals. Let me get rid of that. What are some properties? Sure, yeah, I'm in the right spot. What are some properties of metals? Well, metals have different properties to them. The first one is malleability. Malleability is whether or not the metal can be easily bent or not. Some metals are more easy to bend than others. We would say that they are more malleable. Okay. Then there's conductivity. Conductivity tells whether or not electricity or heat can pass through that metal easily. So if it passes through easily, we say it's a conductor of electricity or a conductor of heat. If it doesn't pass through easily, then we say it's not a conductor. Different metals have different types of conductivity. Some conduct electricity, some conduct heat, some conduct both. Some don't conduct any electricity or heat at all. Okay, so it depends on the metal. Then you have the melting point of the metal. The melting point of the metal is the point at which the metal will go from being a solid to a liquid. And we discussed this a little bit when we were talking about states of matter and how you go from one state to another. Then you have the boiling point of metals. That's the point where the metal will turn from a liquid to a gas. Okay. You have the density of a metal. The density of the metal is how tightly packed the atoms are within the metal. Okay. And the formula for figuring out the density is mass, how much matter is in the metal, divided by volume, which is how much space the metal takes up. So density equals how much matter is located within a certain amount of space. If a metal is ductile, that means it can be drawn out into a thin wire. This again is super important as far as conducting electricity and heat is concerned. And finally, we talk about whether or not a metal is magnetic. If it's magnetic, it means it is attracted to other metals, and it's attracted to magnets through the magnetic field. So what are some properties of nonmetals? Nonmetals' first property is color. The color of it. Okay, so basically that's what color it is. Non-metals have certain odors or smells. Non-metals can be combustible, which means they can catch fire easily, or they can be non-combustible, which means they don't catch fire easily. Non-metals still have density, so that's again how tightly packed they are. They have solubility, that is how whether or not they're able to dissolve or not within a solvent. And again, melting point and boiling point of nonmetals, you have those properties as well.